Hey guys, today I have a review of the iPod Touch 5th generation. This specific model is the 32GB product red model. The iPod Touch is available in multiple colors and storage capacities starting at the $299 price point. In the box you get Apple EarPods, the iPod Touch Loop, a lightning cable, Apple stickers, product information, getting started guide, and the iPod Touch itself. Taking a look at the front of the device, you have a FaceTime camera that has a 1.3 megapixel sensor and shoots 720p video. The video quality of the front is a huge upgrade from the previous model. Below that, you have a new 4-inch screen. I've always been a huge fan of devices that have a large widescreen with a 16:9 aspect ratio. It may not seem like a huge deal, but it adds a lot of necessary real estate, makes the world of a difference for consuming content. It's kind of a pain in the butt that a lot of apps don't support the new screen size, and letterboxing a device with a white bezel doesn't make sense. If iTunes can detect what color your iPod is, it should letterbox in the correct color. It's a small deal for now, but with enough time, apps should be updated. Below that is the home button, and on the bottom of the device you have the headphone jack, lightning connector, and speaker. The lightning connection is a lot smaller, so Apple wasn't lying when they said they couldn't fit a 30-pin connection on new devices. What they didn't switch to a micro USB 3.0 cable connection instead of inventing a new connection is beyond me. It would make a lot of sense considering most Macs use USB 3.0, so transferring data would be a lot faster. It's kind of a pain in the butt that they don't include an adapter, but come on people, it's been 9 years. Buying an adapter after 9 years isn't that big a deal. On the left hand side of the device you have the volume buttons, and at the top you have the lock button. Props to Apple for making the iPod buttons blend with the color backing. On the back of the device, you see a new 5-megapixel iSight camera along with flash. It takes great photos and can replace your point-and-shoot camera. It's a great improvement compared to the previous model. I'll have some links in the description for some quality tests. I'm glad to see it has flash now, so taking better photos in low-light situations and using it as a flashlight can be quite helpful. The Panorama mode is nice, but like most Panorama modes, it's nothing to wow over. Also, a quick thing to mention is the camera lens isn't flush to the iPod, so when you hold on to the device, don't be scared that there is an indentation. I kept thinking that I accidentally broke my iPod when it was just a camera sticking out. Below that is the button for the loop. It kinda sounded cheesy when it was first announced. Why would I want one there? I actually can be quite a klutz when it comes to breaking things, so I actually do use it. It doesn't bother me at all, and it's interesting that they did this instead of having a third-party company make a case that does the same thing. Maybe because you don't need to worry about getting a back covering case anymore, because the new colored aluminum backing prevents scratches from appearing. The iPod Touch now comes with earpods. These are Apple's newest earbuds that are supposedly the best around. I don't want to do a full review of them. I will mention that these earbuds are actually quite good. The audio quality is decent and the earbuds aren't uncomfortable. I'm glad to see them come with iPods because they are good, but they aren't quite worth $30. Like other iDevices, this iPod Touch is running iOS 6. iOS 6 has some great features including Facebook integration, Do Not Disturb mode, and Panorama mode. It got rid of Google Maps and the YouTube app, which was a huge mistake on their part. Apple had a year left to the rights of Google Maps. They could have spent this year perfecting their own app, but chose not to, and it ended up hurting them in the long run. One of the things that kept the iPod Touch from getting Siri was the A5 CPU requirement. The iPod Touch now has an A5 CPU along with a half a gig of RAM. This makes the device much smoother and prevents the lag I've experienced before. Siri works just the way you would expect it to, and I'm finally glad to see Siri on all iDevices. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at this and comparing it to the iPod Touch 4th generation. Here's how I view it. If you have an iPod Touch, stick with what you have. Don't get me wrong, it has a lot of amazing upgrades, but unless you plan on blowing a lot of money on selling your old one, it's not really worth the upgrade. If you're looking at purchasing the iPod Touch 4th generation, go with this one if you can. For $50 more, you get a faster CPU, a scratch-resistant back, a larger screen, good cameras, and Siri. This is one purchase you won't regret making. The iPod Touch is truly an iPhone now without the phone. It's the best mobile assistant and MP3 player on the market right now, and I highly recommend it. Links to purchase this item will be in the description below. Thanks for watching this iPod Touch 5th generation review. For more information on the iPod Touch 5th generation, click the annotation on screen. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button as it really does help me out. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button above.